Okay, we're back, and we're going to continue on. At this point, we want to start to put in the eye sockets, so I want to select these 4 polygons. So you can just left click and then control left click to get all 4 of them, and then right. Oh, also, see how this center line, you may or may not want to kind of even that up a little bit, like maybe pull it over here a little bit, or just grab this whole thing and move it just slightly towards center. A little bit. Something like that. Anyway, once you have the, and you can do that after too. You're going to do an inset and inset this down, something like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start to push this stuff way back. So if you look, it needs to go back. I want it to be kind of even in terms of with the middle here. And let's just bring this down so you can see it's way forward. I want it to be kind of somewhat even vertically. It's okay if this is a little forward, but it still needs to go back. The whole thing is going to need to go back. Then bring this over here. I'm kind of making an eye sort of shape, and then I'm going to grab all of this and push it way back, something like that. And all of this, same thing. Something like that. So you start to get a sort of an eye shape going on. Grab this and move it up a little bit. Alright, and then we're gonna build the nose off of this portion. So I'm gonna move this forward, and we're gonna need another row here, because I want the very tip of the nose to actually be in this loop that goes around the mouth. So we're gonna grab this and say ring, right click and connect, and we might want to move this up just a tad, something about like this. Then we'll move this over maybe just a little bit, and you can shape this stuff too, like you can bring this in or bring this up over. And same with like these points, they don't need to be, you can start to round this stuff off. It doesn't have to be a sharp point. Okay, so what I want to do is build the nose out of here, and the easiest way I've found to do it is just to grab these polygons, and I usually grab the top here too, and I do an extrude. So I'm just going to extrude it just a little bit, something like that, and you'll notice what happens. Anytime you do an extrude, it's going to be extruded all the way around, even on the center line. So you've got to go through and kind of fix that center line. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab all these polygons in the center, like that. And to make it easier, let's just delete this half so you can see what happened. When I extruded that, it extruded all the way around the selection. So what I want to do is, I've already got that selection here. I'm just going to hit delete and delete it. And I've also got all the way around the top here. So I want to start at this corner right here. And I've got some kind of weird, I couldn't see it, but it was like, it's down below here, but I had the lock on it. I knew it was acting funny. So I want to grab that edge and just collapse it. So I'm going to right click and say collapse. And sometimes you have to right click. It'll be like kind of funky weird, like it's grayed out. Just kind of right click again and it'll usually be there. And then I'm going to grab this one and say ring, And the reason I collapsed that one is so when I said ring, it wouldn't grab all the way around the base of the nose. And I want to right click and say collapse with that too. So now I just have kind of this popping off where I want it to. And I could grab these faces, and if I wanted to bring his nose out further, or grab this edge and bring this out. Typically you want the center of the nose right here to be down below the outside edge, and this edge here, like from a front view, would stick out beyond that edge. So we're going to just pull these in a little bit, and this vertex I'm just going to push over and down, and this one down, and let's move this like this. Maybe grab this one and move it like that. What I want to do is I want to connect this up here. So let's do this. I'm going to do a cut from here. And you can take these anywhere you want. So I'm just going to go around the inside loop here to there, and then take that loop across the center to there. So what I basically did is I decided, okay, I'm going to use this edge and make a new loop that's going to connect up here. And then I'm going to use this edge, and instead of having it connect right there, because this line took it, I'm just going to bring it straight out like that. So if I turn off cut, I can get rid of these two triangles, and now I just have two loops. So if I feel that these should be up a little further, I can just move them up. And I want to center out, let's pull this back a little bit. And now I can see that my lips are a little too low, so maybe I'll bring them up a little bit. And I see that this chin probably needs to go back some, something like that. Actually, this is forward. And let's move this towards center a little bit, and then maybe down just a tad. So I'm looking to have that kind of round off the chin and not be so sharp. Same with the nose. I could bring this forward and have it make kind of the shape of the nose. He's got kind of a funky nose a little bit, but anyway, I was kind of liking what it was doing there. Let's just do something like this. And I'm not really using reference. You could obviously use reference and it would probably work out better. Alright, let's look a little smashed right here too. So enough noodling with that. I want to do an edge. So I'm going to grab this open edge, which is this border, and click there. What I want to do on that, if I go to a front view, I can see it's not quite even. It's a little offset there. I want to align that to the X. So I'm going to hit make planar on the X. I'm going to check it because it'll sometimes do funky things like it just did. So in that case, I'm going to just try Y. And Y seemed to work out just perfect. If it's not, if you see like a little subtle adjustment like that, that's what you want. If you see something like that, you don't want that or this. You don't. What it basically does is it takes all the vertices and puts them in one line. So if it's a subtle adjustment, then you know that it put it kind of in line that you want. If it collapses it either to the middle or to the bottom, in either this direction or that direction, you know that something bad happened. And then you can simply right click on this and just move it to the center. And so now I have a center line again on the X, and I don't have to worry about you know, I can mirror this head and it'll be fine. You can also grab the eye. If the eye is looking a little big, you can scale it down a little bit. Let's work on the lips real quick before our time is up, because I was hoping to get this all in 2 videos, and I'm probably going to end up making 3. So what you want to do is do an inset here, and you're going to have to, I should have done that before we did the center line. But let's just look at this from a side view. We'll just go from a left-handed view. And we're going to work on these lips. So I'm just going to grab these vertices, hit W, pull these down and back. Maybe something like that. I want these kind of close together on the corner of the mouth. And I want to take these two and push them back so they actually sit in back of those from a side view. And we'll do something like this. And that's going to work out pretty well. And we'll bring this down like that. So let's bring this up. Alright, and then the other thing is I want to kind of push these towards the center. And it's just, you know, you'll get used to like kind of what direction things should go. So something like that is how we're going to make the lips. And I would make the mouth sock that we talked about in class off of these center lines. Before I do that, I'm just going to grab this and say ring. You could grab any one of these. Say ring, connect. Just to add more definition here. So these two, I usually bring them up towards the lip. Move this one back just a tad. Something like that. And these 2 points, I would want to center them on the X, which is basically the same thing we did with the border, but since there's just 2 points, I'm just going to do them individually. So that's 12 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and stop there.